Alright, now, parents. We need to talk. Now then, since I'm also a fellow, as you will put it, child who doesn't know the world or anything about it, I'm gonna tell you why your child or teenager doesn't like you. Now, I'm 14, so I'm kind of yeah, I'm still in the age where I know what they're coming from in the first place. Now, parents, since I don't have a script for this and it's all going, off the handle, so this is my things might repeat themselves. Wow, I can't talk today. Things might repeat themselves. So please just bear with that for a little bit. Now, here's the first thing I have to say to you parents is that kids like to be, paid attention to and understood, which you probably do. And well, here's the thing you all don't do. Well, at least you don't do it well, at least. You don't like to, what's the name again? You don't want to pay attention to their problems and just think that, they'll be fine. They're still kids. They don't know what they're talking about. That's what you like to do, which is, by the way, completely false, by the way. Just doing that will make your child either hate you or just really not trust you at all. It's the thing I want to tell you all as well. And again, I can't really speak from experience because, my parents, they weren't there for me at all. So I had replacements like, aunts, uncles, cousins, stuff. Yeah, I had replacements. Now, here's another thing you might be doing wrong. You might be sending your child to a bad school. Now, that in itself, your child might be in middle school or maybe late elementary school to notice that. High school, they'll let you know. Well, if they don't, then, they're just gonna suck it up, say, you know what? They did this for me, might as well deal with it. But sometimes it's a really, really bad school. And again, I would know. And you don't do anything about it most of the time. I will tell you this now. And that's the problem right there. Again, this is another reason why your kids don't like you in the first place. Now, the next reason is, well, simply because you treat them like children. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have like a 5, 6 year old, then of course you gotta treat them like a kid. Do that, obviously. But if your child is at the very least 13, possibly 12, then stop treating them like a little child. That doesn't mean give them more chores, don't just like make them do almost everything around the house at that point. No, what you're supposed to do is treat them with some form of respect. Okay? Because I can't even count the number of parents I've encountered, because I travel a lot for some reason. I've encountered that just treat their children like complete babies. Again, I'm 14, so I know a little bit about the world. I'm saying a little bit because I don't want to sound all smart or braggy. But please, parents, don't treat their kids like they don't know anything. Because I'm telling you now, if you do that, you're not setting yourself up well. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes kids know a lot more than you. So I'm gonna stop saying kids. I'm gonna say teenagers now. Sometimes teenagers know a lot more than you. Kids, sometimes that little childish innocence and stuff. I can understand that. You gotta treat them like a child. You gotta treat kids like a children. Again, like I said though, everybody 13 and up, just treat them with some respect and don't just baby them all the time. Is what I'm saying. Okay, now the next thing I'm gonna say is let your kids go out. Not like dating, no, I get that. Let them date when they're like a sophomore or something in high school, maybe a junior, I don't know. Maybe in college. I don't know. Let them be responsible for themselves like that. But what I'm saying is, let them go outside, let them go to their neighborhoods, let them walk around to the park around the corner. Just let them have some type of freedom. Honestly, this could have went into the respect category I said, but I just want to let this be his own thing. Just trust your child to go out and be safe. And if you know your child is a person who likes to get in trouble, then I can understand that. Make them go with a person like let's say an older sibling, or if they don't have that, like a cousin, or if like there's no one, just supervise them. Like go out. Like if you're just at home doing nothing, you can take the time out of your day to go out there and watch your kid at the park. It's really not that hard. I've know. Now, that was a personal problem for me too, but really, you just really need some type of freedom. Just again, this topic is just let your child have some freedom, please. It will save you a lot of trouble in the long run, and let them know what to do and not to do in a public area. Okay, the next thing is, and this one is so easy to just not do. I've encountered too many people. I'm done with the subject, but please get the full story of why your child is in trouble. Now, it can be with a person at school or maybe at home, but just get the full story. Cause I'm going to let you know, cousins and siblings, that any of your children, they have two personalities. It's the one where they're the perfect little angel in front of the parents, and they're complete and total evil when they're gone. Now I won't say this to all children. That's just no. That's just grouping people. But I will say most of them do this. And if they break something or they get in trouble, please just get the full story before you make your decision. I swear, I've seen kids or just teenagers, people above my age really, just straight up start hating their parents because they did this, or their caretakers, guardians, whatever you want to call it. And it's just a bad thing to do, especially when you know that this is a good child and you still don't question what happened. That's not a good thing to do. And yeah, that's that topic right there. Now, one of the final topics I have is let your children be children and let your teenagers be teenagers, okay? Because you all know children, they're obnoxious, they're loud, and they're full of energy, and they just always want to have some type of fun going on. If you can't have, well, just let them burn themselves out, let them be children, let them have their fun while they still can. Because once they start being teenagers and they go through everything, yeah, they're gonna find out life isn't all it's cut out to be. And just, like I said, I might repeat things, but just let them have their fun while they're still out, while they still can. And teenagers, well, just don't let them be like the person doing everything around the house, which probably this don't count to all parents. Again, I'm not gonna group people, but some parents do make their kids just not kids, their teenagers do everything around the house. And if it's not that, then let them be teenagers. Teenagers are always in the phase where they want to be independent or they want to do things themselves, then let them do that, okay? Don't always try to baby them. I said this in the first or second one. I said, you don't baby your teenager or they will start to rebel even harder. Now, again, I don't do that because, well, I never had the whole thing. But just don't do that to your child or teenager. It's really it makes it harder on everyone. And Willie, just let them act their age, but make sure they don't do anything stupid. Okay, like don't let them do things you know they shouldn't do. Let them take a risk, but if it's anything that can get someone in real trouble, don't let them take it. Be a responsible parent who don't baby their child all the time, please. And now the final topic is, well, I don't know how I can explain this one, but give the child, or in most of the time, really almost all the time, the teenager, the attention they want and need, okay? Because that's something people overlook way too easily. And well, the child, you can understand because, they're a child. They need someone to watch over them to make sure they're not doing anything destructive or bad. But just really, they want attention. It's why they do most of the bad things they do. Because if they know that you'll come to them if they're doing something bad. And if you're too busy, like I can understand, I can barely understand. If you had a long day at work, you can still make some time for your child, like in half an hour. We just sit down, draw with them, or just play, sing, do anything with your child, and just have some time. Make them have a better day, and just give some attention to them. And then the teenagers, well, we all, well, I won't say all, but most of us, we really do want recognition from our parents, which basically means we want to be noticed and accomplished and praised by our parents, and we just really want that to happen. But most of the time, parents just brush us off, and it's not fun at all. So just don't, please, just pay attention to your children, especially your teenagers, because that's when they get into the whole phase where they think, again, they thought of as a child that if I mess up, they'll pay attention to me. If they didn't learn this during school or movies or anything, I don't know where they would have learned this, but please, your child will do something really, really bad if you don't pay the proper attention to them. So please just pay attention to your teenagers because that's where things actually get worse. That's where consequences actually have real, well, actions have real consequences at that point. Children, you can teach them, but come on, please pay attention to your child. And well, that's all the topics I have, really. And yeah, that's all the topics I have for why, your child or teenager doesn't like you. And if there was a child or teenager watching this, tell me how accurate I was. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this or at least been enlightened. Enlightened, is that the right word? Enlightened by this information. And if you haven't, or you already knew this, then it's either the child just has the personality, which a personality forms over time, to just not like either authority or just people people take care of them, or I don't know, some type of outside force that's influencing them. But I hope this helped you, and if it didn't, then thanks for watching, and just tell me and tell me how I can improve. And well, thanks for watching.